just coming back to culture. Well, we're talking about culture here, right? So if you have too many KPIs, your culture's probably going to be shit. But if you don't have enough, it's probably going to be headless.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's my assumption. But if we just talk about KPIs versus OKRs, we hear it nowadays. Oh, but KPIs are outdated, and then you got to be focusing on OKRs. Who wants to take the lead on what's the difference between a KPI and an OKR?
Pass. I can tell you what it stands for. I've got it written here in front of me. Objective Key Results is the OKR.
Yeah.
Does that sound like the reason? Well, the fact that you pass sounds to me like it's complex, right? It's made to be like complicated. So what KPI, OKR, like what I see a lot of is people just don't have anything. So just keep it bloody simple. Think about the 10 hats that you're wearing. Okay, cool. I'm a salesperson. I'm a marketing person. I have an operations team. Just measure a couple of things that mean something to you, and then you can actually be accountable to yourself to some extent, and it actually is of meaning in the data. Like you can go on about OKR and KPI and ABC. Fuck, who cares what the letters stand for? But like, just have something, Like I couldn't give a shit. We're not in the corporate, where I mean I get it. Like the concepts are all there, but I'm dumbing it down for my own sake and yours. But yeah, like if I was going to tell you something, as customer came to me, it's 10 hats, go find 3 in every department, and then just start there and build on those things that make sense, or the information you get out of it. Call it a KPI or ABC, whatever. So I'm going to give it your answer. What is the difference? I don't give a fuck.
I don't think it matters, right?
Anyone on that either.
I think the key difference with culture and the people within your businesses that there's going to be key metrics that are going to be different for your team, and there's going to be key metrics that are going to be different for you as a business owner. Yes. So as long as you know what those are and what your team are performing within your business, then I think whatever will go will go.
Yeah, and it depends the level of your team as well, right? If your MD and your GM and your frontline places, they can't really let's say your goal is to grow your cafe to 3 venues a year. The team can't really control that because they're just doing coffees every day.
Yeah, you can't.
But your KPI will be to make a bloody good coffee or a nice swirl on your little cappuccino, right? But then your MD is the directional guy and more high level person, and say, okay, we need more bank funding, we need more investors, we need to grow to 2 venues or expand our franchises or for coffee club.
I like that as a because we're talking about culture here, and that often I find like teams don't love metrics. But they want to know what sort of standard they're trying to achieve.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like how to do a job, or what does excellence look like.
Yeah.
So rather than having metrics inside your team, it's probably better to have an expectation of standards in how we do things. And then it's easier for people to relate to. Like you say, if you're making coffee and it needs to have a nice swirl in it or a picture every time, like make that the standard.
Yes.
Otherwise, some new manager is going to come in and be like, hey, can you lot stop doing pretty little designs in coffee because it takes you an extra 5 minutes per coffee? And then you go, oh, that just because the manager's got some KPI that it's got to be 3 minutes per coffee or something, So standards often not measurable. It's just like a sight thing.
No, I think we're very good at Betterco as well because we have our regular catch-ups with our
you're blowing
team.
our trumpet today.
Just drink the Kool-Aid, mate.
It's probably because we just won an award. Did we win? Sorry. We was like, with our team.
You were winning awards. We won awards.
So we have regular catch-ups with our team, and we have goal planning. And there can be some metrics that we set individually with each of our team members, which I think is great. So that's really specific to that person, which I think is excellent, because every 90 days we'll have a catch up with the team member and we measure those metrics on a regular basis just to see how they're tracking.
Yeah, and just keep it simple. Like we use that tool now, where, how model, right? Where are you now? Where are you trying to get to? And how are you going to get from A to B? And from how, it's like, look at, that's your goal. What sort of KPIs and measures you got to put in place, quantitative or qualitative, to get there, right? Just don't make it overcomplicated. You want to run more, you want to run faster. Just say do more runs. That's your KPI. Simple.
So that's NWH, that one. It is, mate.
You can overcomplicate things though. You really can. And business can be complex, but I think keeping it simple with you.
And I think when you
with your
overcomplicate,
metrics.
that's when culture goes down.
And just have fun, I'd say. Some people overcomplicate it, they go so winded up on bloody percentages and margins. But you're still a team, we're still humans, have some fun along the way.
How do you measure fun, mate?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
How
have
many
fun.
times people
Accountants don't have fun. Man.
How many smiles are in the room?
We go home and work on spreadsheets after work.
Yeah, I think you got to protect your culture though, right? And so, like, if you're going to measure KPIs, all good, but like we always say, we've said this in a couple of podcasts previous to this, is ask your team what they want to see and why they want to see it, so it doesn't scare the bloody shit out of them, and tell them why they need to see it.
Well, I think that on that point is if you're going to give someone a performance metric or standard or whatever, you should be showing them the outcome or the result too.
Yes.
Yep.
So they can actually see it for themselves and go,
Sure.
oh, that's the work I put in this week and that was my KPI.
Yes.
And, oh, thanks for showing me that's where that bill I sent, what revenue line it's gone to.
Yes.
And now I can see how my value is brought to the overall company.
And aligning with the vision and purpose.
That's right, yeah. So people want to...
Especially the younger generations.
They want to see the
Gen
result,
Z,
right?
So you're just showing revenue.
No,
Or
anything.
Or you're
anything.
showing margin. Like,
I'm just saying, if you're us saying like coffees, if your objective is to make 1,000 coffees a week, maybe we should actually show them, okay, you made 900, you might have missed your target, but your 900 was actually better than everybody else, and as a company we missed our 5,000 that we were supposed to hit, and we were at 4,000. So actually, you were the superstar this week. Good on you.
Yeah. Right.
Like it still can
But
be.
what did you do to the other? No.
Well, got the whip. No, I'm just. They
Yeah,
could be individual
I-
conversations, but
Yeah.
like you got to be careful. But all I'm saying is show the results, and I think
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
where OKRs
You
were kind of
probably-
heading.
Yeah.
But leadership is when you
Yeah,
deliver
but
your
leaders
messaging.
and managers, we got to have leeway. You can't just look at one metric and just slam someone.
Yeah.
That's just not the right thing. It's like, for example for us is job write-offs. Client charges you, you charge a client $2,000. The person spent $4,000 worth of time.
Yeah.
But it's very complex. But the end result, the customer, he's bloody happy and he refers you another customer.
Yeah. Correct.
That is all qualitative and not quantitative.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
If you look beyond that and be like, mate, this guy's actually a really good employee. He overcooks the time, that's fine, but he brings in more clients than we had.
Yeah.
You're on a
So-
podcast, mate. Don't tell too many people. Cooking the clock.
Just an example.
No, I get you. But yeah, no, I think it's that forward thinking, right? And go, if we do a good piece of work here, we'll get the next piece of work
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree to that.